Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me for another chapter on 10 tips for life efficiency. I'm so excited that you're here. We are going through the series talking about how to have an easy button for life, how to be more efficient, get more done, and put less effort into it. My mentor Jarvis likens this to hitting the easy button. It's easy, you just have to know how to do it. A little bit of background on who I am. My name is Rick, and I am a commercial real estate guru. I do a lot of work, especially helping families with properties in trust, get their properties to be more efficient, buy and sell assets, things like that. If you need any property help, reach out to me. I am a proud Rotarian. And on the side, I love to do motivational speaking. If you ever need me to speak to your group, I would be more than happy to. Please just reach out to me. My contact info will be at the end. I'm also a very, very proud husband and dad. I want to send a special shout out to all the members of the Morning Hero program. Either you're here live, which those of you who get up at 6 o'clock on Saturday morning to join me, man, you are the true heroes. That's why I call you weekend heroes. But even if you're not here live, special shout out to all of you guys. You are my family. Speaking of family, there's my gorgeous family, my two lazy dogs, my baby, and my gorgeous, just amazing wife, man. Olivia, she is something else. This week, we are talking about sleeping clean. I am so excited about this one because this is a talk I've never done before. And I can't believe I haven't done this. So, I want to ask you a pretty easy question. Um, do you like the way you sleep now? Are you okay with being a little tired in the morning, dragging through your day, tossing and turning at night, not really feeling like you ever got enough sleep? Are you okay feeling like you're constantly playing catch up? Are you okay looking forward to the weekend where you can catch up on all the sleep you missed during the week? If you think that your sleep is fine right now, which is where I used to be before I started studying this, if you think you're good and you're a little tired, but everybody else is, go ahead and turn this off right now. This is not for you. This is for people who want to sleep like their dog sleeps. I don't know if you have a dog. We have two dogs, and man, one of them, Cosette, I need to put some pictures of her up on here because she is a power sleeper. That dog looks forward to bedtime all day. What she hopefully, anytime someone goes upstairs, she hopefully looks at us like, "Oh, is it time? Do I get to go to bed?" And then when it finally is, when we say, "Do you want to go to bed?" she just crouches down and cowers like little dogs do and looks up with the most hopeful eyes, like, "Please take me to bed." And of course, once she goes to bed, she snuggles in and she is out. And if you touch her, if you disturb her, if you turn over during the night, she will let you know it's not cool with a nice little growl and maybe even a little yip at you. I want to sleep like Cosette does. Cosette in the morning, man, it doesn't matter what's going on. Everybody's up. She sleeps through it. She would not get out of bed except at a certain point we force her to because on the weekends we've caught her in bed still till 2 or 3 in the afternoon. I want to sleep like my dog sleeps. So, a couple of thoughts behind it. Let's pre-frame what we're going to talk about. Uh, does it matter? And is there such thing as a right way? Well, it does matter, and that's because sleep is the powerhouse of everything you do. So, I'm in a program called The Morning Hero, and the way we work is it's based off a book called The Miracle Morning, and we just get up earlier, earlier than we used to, earlier than other people, and we use that as the power tool to get ahead in life. And when someone joins the program, the first thing we have to do with them, other than just getting their butt up at 5 in the morning, or some people like my buddy Jarvis, that guy's crazy. He's up at 3:30 in the morning out doing his morning run. And the first thing we have to do, other than getting people up, is instantly start training them on their sleep. Go to bed earlier, sleep better, because you cannot consistently be getting up at 5 in the morning or earlier if you aren't getting really good, really awesome full nights of sleep the night before. There's that old saying, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. I'm going to challenge that. I think sleep is the most important meal of the day because I've had plenty of mornings where I skip breakfast. In fact, I skip breakfast a lot of mornings. And I'm sure those of you out there who are gurus on that are probably yelling that that's terrible for my metabolism and I'll work on that. But I had plenty of days where I skip breakfast and I feel great. I have not had, I can think of a single day where I've skipped sleep or had a really bad sleep and had a great day. Are you like me where if you don't get the right amount of sleep, man, you're struggling, you can't focus, you can't get anything done, you just sit in front of your computer, right? And you stare at the screen, you keep having to remind yourself, what in the world was I supposed to be doing? The day is terrible. So that's why it matters. Now, is there really a right way? I used to think, hey, I get in bed, I sleep, I get up, I'm doing it, right? I didn't have a plan. When you have a plan, when you have all the building blocks, when you have all the tools in your tool belt, you're going to supercharge your sleep. You will need less sleep. You will feel better when you wake up. You will be able to get up earlier, get more things done. It's going to superpower your entire life and give you almost superhuman strength, superhero ability to focus. So, absolutely, there's a right way. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So, there are three basic parts to your sleep program, and I like to call them the setup, the execution, and the recovery. Think of it sort of like an Olympic athlete model. Like you're an Olympic gymnast and you're about to go do your vault. You've got your setup, you're about to run down the runway. You've got your execution where you flip on the vault, and then you've got the recovery. You land, you salute, and you move on. That's what we're going to talk about with sleep. So let's get into part one, the setup. It really takes intention to sleep right. It takes planning and it takes planning early in your day. One of the things you have to do, and I am not great at this, is avoiding afternoon caffeine. My wife is super sensitive to caffeine. So we have a rule of thumb for her. She cannot drink anything. Talking not just, coffee, espresso, but soda, anything with caffeine, she cannot touch after 3 o'clock or she is miserable. And that is a hard and fast rule. It doesn't matter where we are, no frappuccinos, no nothing. Avoid the afternoon caffeine. Me, I'm not as caffeine sensitive. I can actually have some caffeine in the afternoon and still do fine. But if when you're getting started, try everything. Try all of this. Give it a shot. Give it a shot for a few weeks. See what works for you. Secondly, no eating 2 hours before bed. I suck at this. Oh, I'm so bad at this. The reason is I try to get too much stuff done in my day. So, of course, I'm getting home. If I work late, getting home at 6:30, 7 o'clock, instantly eating. And then I have to get my daughter to bed at 8, and I'm trying to get in bed by 9. The reason you don't want to eat 2 hours before is that food and all that digestion in your stomach is going to make it hard for your body to get into the sleep mode. Obviously, you don't want to go too long before bed. You don't want your stomach growling all night, but a good rule of thumb is 2 hours before. So make sure that you're eating early. One of the things we do in my program is we actually schedule everything. We schedule eating, and I'm now scheduling my dinners around 5:30 or 6. So I have enough time to digest my food, even have a little dessert and not have the sugar affect me. No alcohol. Um, this kind of goes without saying and kind of doesn't. Having a glass of wine with your meal is good. It's good for you. It's enjoyable. A lot of us on the weekend like to have a few drinks to relax and unwind. I have started becoming more and more aware of this, especially because we're in COVID right now, and there's nothing to do but stay home and watch Netflix and drink. But what I have noticed is if I've had a couple drinks, I toss and turn more. I'm dehydrated, which means I wake up many times during the night thirsty. I'm going back and forth to the bathroom because alcohol is a diuretic. If you want to have good sleep, don't drink. And we're talking basically all day, not, 2 hours before. We're talking all day because it takes a long time for that stuff to get out of your system. I'm not saying don't drink at all. I'm just saying don't drink on the nights where you want good sleep. Power down hour. Man, this is a huge one. This is hard too in our society. Power down hour means for the last hour before you go to bed, turn off your devices, turn off your screens, turn off the TV, turn off the noise, get into a more quiet mode. This is the time to start powering down your life and setting intention for bed. And then finally, get the right tools. So, this one is one that I, as a bachelor, was terrible at. I had my wife had to tell me when we started dating that my sheets were disgusting. They were torn and stained with whatever food I'd spilled in bed. They were gross, and she didn't want to go anywhere near my bed. So she introduced me to the joy of getting new high quality fabrics. New pillows. If your pillows are more than, gosh, 3 or 4 years old, it's time to get new ones. I've read some really, really gross studies about people who've weighed their mattresses and their pillows, and over the years, they will actually double or triple in weight from all the dander and skin cells and drool and dust mites. And it's really gross. It's just gross. So I think the rule of thumb on mattresses is every 10 years and pillows it's every 2 to 3 years. Go get yourself a new pillow. Try different kinds of pillows. Try the memory foam pillows. Try really soft ones, down pillows, cotton pillows, big pillows, little pillows. Try them until you find the exact right pillow for you. It might cost $2, it might cost $60 or $100. It doesn't matter. If it's helping you sleep right, it's worth every penny. I would pay $1,000 for the perfect pillow. Finally, you've got to set up your environment. Every piece of research I've read says that we sleep best in a completely dark, cool environment. Temperature wise, that means about 63 to 65 degrees. You want it a little colder than is comfortable because remember, you're going to be under those blankets. During the day, you got clothes on, sweaters, whatever. At night, hopefully, you're sleeping with loose clothing, not a lot of clothing, so you're unrestricted. You can move around. I hate wearing clothing to bed because you turn over and it gets bound, and all of a sudden you're choking yourself on your neck, or your arms get stuck. So the less clothing, the better. Big, comfortable blankets, and then about 65 degrees dark. Now, you might be in an environment. I remember when I lived in Tacoma, Washington, where I could just leave my window open, and I loved it because I could put two or three comforters on the bed. It would get down to 40 degrees in my room. I could see my breath, but I could snuggle up into those blankets, and it was great. Here in San Diego, where we live now, right now it's cold, but in the summer we have to turn the air conditioning on starting at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon just to get the temperature out of the 80s and 90s and get it into this cool zone so we can sleep right. So set up your environment, get some good curtains to block out all the light. My wife is upstairs sleeping right now, and one of the first things I do when I get up as I get up before her, is I make sure that our curtains are closed all the way. That way, when the sun starts rising like it is right now, that light doesn't get in and start to wake her up and wake the baby up. They can sleep until it's time to not sleep. Same thing if you have lights outside your bedroom, other things, noise, anything you can do to block it all out. All right, so let's talk about the execution. This is how you become a power sleeper. Couple ideas. Number one, take a warm shower. Do you remember when you were a kid and You never wanted to take a shower or a bath. I remember going through that, especially when I was in junior high. I don't know what was wrong with me. I didn't want to take a shower. I didn't want to bathe. Now, man, I've been at work at times and craved like, oh gosh, all I would like right now, I'm a little bit cold, and I just want to go stand under a hot shower. That's going to raise your core temperature, put you in a little bit of a sleepier mood, relax those muscles. And taking a shower is a great way to go to bed. Plus, getting your bed clean. You aren't taking all the dirt and germs and garbage into bed with you. Who wants to get into those nice clean sheets with a dirty body? Get into clean sheets with a clean body. Secondly, this is a great one. Read a book. My friend Jarvis, this for him is guaranteed way to go to sleep. If he can't sleep, all he has to do is pick up a book, and he's told me within 2 or 3 minutes sometimes he's asleep. I've actually seen this guy. It's funny. We had a challenge one week where we were supposed to text out messages of appreciation. And it was something we had to do before the end of the day. And he had been doing this perfect streak. And then one night he forgot to do it. And right before bed, he pulled out his phone and he started reading his text messages and typing. And literally, he lost out on the challenge because he fell asleep reading his phone. And that guy programmed. Another great reason you want to read a book before bed is your mind will stick on whatever you put in it last. So why not put something really good into your mind? Why not read something motivational or challenging or thought provoking, something that's going to have your mind working all night, your subconscious working and filling you with goodness and wholeness. I actually have to be careful with this personally because if I read a super motivational book, like right now I'm reading The Aladdin Factor, I get too excited and I'll actually get motivated and I can't sleep. So this can, depending on what I'm reading, this can backfire. So right now, instead of reading that before bed, I read a book on about my daughter on raising girls. It's called The Wonder of Girls. And it's very data driven and it's not anything I can run out and do right now. It just gives me good ideas to think about. And that works better for me. So the type of book might also make a difference. Third, create that perfect environment. So we've talked about making sure that the temperature is right, the sheets are clean, it's dark. As far as noise goes, you want to make sure that if you have noise outside, cars, things like that, use a white noise generator. You know, if you think a few years back, God, what was that company? They produced all the Medtronic, something like that. Anyway, they had all the tools for sleep. They had the white noise generators and they had lamps and aromatherapy things, all these different things you could do. Now, other than the aromatherapy, most of the stuff you can do right off your phone or your smart speaker can do this. We've got all these devices, so we don't even have to pay for a 30 or $40 white noise generator. You just do it right on your phone. Spotify has great white noise programs. YouTube. So I've been doing a lot of mental programming now, a lot of YouTube programs that are either specifically sleep meditations, which kind of guide you into the unwinding, powering down, and going to sleep, or subliminal programming. There's some really good subliminal programming um, YouTube videos out there that are specifically made to be 8 hours long. They'll guide you to sleep. They'll either do audible or inaudible affirmations in the background. And then when it comes time to wake up 8 hours later, they will gently wake you up. And I've gotten to the point on these where the hypnotist in it, he does a countdown from 10 to 1. And on 1, he says, wake up. And I literally wake up right now at about when he says 3. So he'll say 3, 2, he'll actually say 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. And on 3, I will be wide awake and hear him say 3, 2, 1, wake up. And before the alarm on the video goes off, I've grabbed my phone and turned off the video and I'm awake and ready to go. So programming yourself for these things, that's another way to take your sleep and make it power sleep. Use that time to program yourself to do some extra learning, some extra motivation. And then self talk. My friend Valley Coleman, and Valley, big shout out to you. I was telling him about this talk, and he said, Rick, you've got to talk to people about the mindset and about setting intention. He's an extremely spiritual person. And he said, you've got to give yourself permission to let go of the day. Man, maybe you didn't get done what you wanted to do. That's okay. Let it go. The day is done. It's okay to sleep. If you're a really driven, motivated person like all of my morning hero friends are, man, we're constantly thinking, how can I do more? How can I get more done? How can I achieve more? This is a time to say it's time to achieve less. The day is written. Cut it, move on. I personally used to have trouble letting go of the day. I would stay up. My girlfriend at the time, Veronica, would tell me, what is wrong with you? You stay up till 1, 2 in the morning. You're literally so tired. You have to crawl on the floor to bed. It's because I couldn't let go of the day. I felt like I hadn't accomplished enough. This is just the time to number one, let go of your day. And another one is no matter what amount of time you have, maybe you don't have a lot of time, maybe you only have 4 hours. Your attitude toward that 4 hours is going to make such a difference. So tell yourself, man, I am so excited. I get 4 hours of power sleep. This is going to feel so good. I'm going to sleep like a baby for these 4 hours. I'm going to get so refreshed and rejuvenated. The way you program yourself, because you could have 8 hours of sleep and you could tell yourself, man, it's only 8 hours. I'm probably going to toss and turn. I know I'm going to wake up tired. I always do. This is going to be a terrible night's sleep. I'm going to wake up just dragging. And you will. The amount of sleep the amount of time you have for sleep doesn't matter as much as the quality and how you program yourself for it. Okay, finally, let's talk about the recovery. There are some really, really good tips for recovery. Mel Robbins wrote a book called The 5 Second Rule. And the basis of it is as soon as your mind tells you you need to do something, you get an idea, a motivation, you need to make a phone call, or in our case, you wake up and you need to get out of bed, you need to count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and do it. And the reason why is if you wait more than 5 seconds, it gives your brain time to come up with excuses. So as soon as that alarm goes off, you just it's got to become automatic. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, out of bed, and physically tell yourself out of bed, get up. Um, I had a trainer back when I worked for Sears who would tell us not only do you get up, but you jump out of bed, literally jump, take a jump once you get up, and then you start telling yourself, I'm awake, I'm happy, I'm excited, my day is starting, here I go, I'm gonna have coffee, I'm gonna kick this day in the ass. This is my day. I don't do that anymore because my wife would freaking kill me. But it's a great way to recover and start your day. Start your day excited. If you just take 30 seconds and put that energy into it, it's amazing. It changes your entire freaking day. Along with the 5 second rule, I got this out of, oh man, I wish I could. I read so many books. I read about 100 books a year, and I don't remember which book I got this out of, but I got it this year, and this is such a power habit. Down an entire glass of water. I don't think I put this in the setup phase, and I really should have. Take a glass of water in bed. The worst thing, gosh, you know this. The worst thing is when you're laying in bed, you kind of wake up, your mouth is kind of dry. You don't want to get out of bed because you have to go all the way to the bathroom or go all the way downstairs to the kitchen, in my case, to get water. So most of the time, I just sit there and I kind of suffer and I'm uncomfortable, but I don't want to get up. So keep a glass of water by your bed, and then as soon as you get up, first thing you do, down that glass of water. The reason behind this is that you've been dehydrating all night. You've been exhaling warm, moist breath and not taking any water in. You are waking up dehydrated. By downing that glass of water, it's a good symbolic thing, but it also instantly rehydrates you. It gets your cells functioning again, gives you the water for your body to start doing the processes it needs. I know you're probably thinking, I wake up and I have to go to the bathroom and get rid of the water. Down your glass of water before you run to the bathroom. You can take it in before you let it out. Um, just a really great habit. Finally, in this recovery phase, in getting out of bed, if you are still having trouble, don't live with it. My wife has the worst time sleeping. She does not sleep well. And I'm still telling her, I know you've seen doctors before. Don't live with it. I didn't even know. And thankfully, we're starting to get awareness. Back in my parents' day, and obviously the millennia before, it was just considered kind of a thing that men snore, right? My dad snores like crazy. I mean, my dad used to snore like literally a freight train. I would record it and play it for my friends, and they thought it was a grizzly bear. My granddad snored. I'm sure his dad snored. My brother snores. And we just considered snoring that was just part of life. And of course, what we found is that if you're snoring, or the big one, and I had girlfriends tell me this, and my stepmom started telling me about my dad holding your breath at night. It's sleep apnea. It's not natural. It's not normal. You're not getting good sleep. It's hurting your heart. If you don't, even if nobody's telling you that, if you're not sleeping well, go see a doctor. You probably need to have a sleep study done. They can observe you. They can check all your vitals and see, are you getting into good REM sleep, deep sleep cycle? What's going on there? Are you getting into the phases you need to? They can check your blood work, make sure that your cortisol levels are correct. Make sure that everything is all right. If you're not sleeping, there's something wrong. And don't let go. Don't go to one doctor and they say, oh, that's just part of getting older, or that's part of being young, or that's part of being a man. Don't stop. Keep seeing doctors. My friend, Dr. Alicia Bhatia, is a naturopathic doctor, and she's so passionate about this. I love her passion on this one. And then finally, a great little tool. I'm going to be an unpaid advocate here for Fitbit. I used a bunch of different sleep trackers. I used a Jawbone for forever, and it was total crap, but I was brand loyal. And then finally, my wife got a Fitbit on me, and this thing works so well, especially the new ones. They're tiny. They're thinner than a watch. The one I use, it's just a little band, a little wristband. Doesn't really have a screen unless I need it to, but it tracks my sleep, it tracks my motion. I can use the app to track my eating, and it tells me. I'm able to look at it, and if I wake up and I'm feeling kind of gross, I'll check my Fitbit and say, maybe I didn't sleep great. Or I look at it and I think, I don't know if I slept great. And it says, yeah, you did a good job. And for some reason, it's that um, just the placebo effect. I look at it and it says I slept great, and I go, yeah, I did sleep great. I'm feeling good. Get one of these. They go on your wrist. It's just like a watch. It can check your heart rate. It can do all of these really great things. And then you have data to take your doctor, and you can show your doctor, hey, look at my sleep cycle. I'm waking up all the time. My heart rate's all over the place, whatever. So it's really, really good to have. All right, we're all done. Speaking of unpaid promotions, I want to give a huge shout out to my personal coach, Jarvis Leverson. You can check him out at themorninghero.com. I don't know if he even knows I do this. He definitely has not asked me to do this. He has not paid me to do this, but this guy has single handedly changed my life. He took me from being about to get fired from the brokerage where I work right now to being one of the top producers in the office. It took time and it took work. It took, I'd say, about 3 or 4 months. But this guy was there holding my hand every step of the way. He's amazing. Jarvis, if you're listening to this, I don't know if you listen to these, but I love you, man. You have changed my life. TheMorningHero.com. All right, a big thanks for joining me once again. Those of you who get up with me at 6 o'clock on Saturday, man, you are amazing. That's so cool that you do it. If you're not doing it, but you want to, there should be a link for this program wherever you're watching it, or call me, text me, email. I'll get you the link. We talk about our weekends, we plan out our weekends, we intentionally plan our break times, which is so cool. If you're not planning your weekend, if you're not intentionally planning your breaks, man, learn to be lazy and efficient with your fun time, with your weekend time, with your downtime. That's when you go next level. Uh, you can reach me on my cell phone, 253-988-8802. Email me, rickc at pacificcoastcommercial.com. Thank you so much. And as always, if you're watching the video, I love to end with a picture of my baby daughter because she's so cute. I love you. I'm here for you. Reach out to me, text me, call me, let me know what's working. Please, if I miss something in one of these videos, let me know how I can do a better job. Thanks so much for joining me, and I will talk to you next week.